Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is I, James L. Seagraves, coming to you again, freshly unshaven here from the basement, the depths of the basement. And let me tell you, it was another great week of MUSL. The Elite 8 is what we had last week, this week, whatever you want to say it. And that means that anyone who was participating this week was one game away from the money, because all Final Four participants get $50, don't forget, and then you win money based on where you finish from there. Nevertheless, we had some winners, we had some losers, some tough games, some tough breaks. So here we go. We're going to break this down here one game at a time. That's a chunky. Louis Diana, former champion, taking on Bleeding Blue Bombers. Pat Provost Sr. That's a chunky. Knocks him out. 81.95 to 58.23. Bleeding Blue Bombers. My internet's running really slow. I apologize in advance. Bleeding Blue Bombers this week. Geno Smith's about the only guy who did anything in the 49ers defense. A lot of people let him down, including T. Higgins, who apparently didn't even play. Not that it would have mattered, really, because he lost by quite a bit. So Pat Provost Sr., the Provosts go down in glorious fashion this week. Unfortunately for that family, I think they're out. They are out of the main running for sure. Malcolm Rodriguez in the middle of my thighs loses the post-swag. Bonnie Monahan takes down yet another Seagraves member in the playoffs. This is the third time now, by my count. She knocked me out of the Elite 8 a few years ago, and she knocked me out in an early round several years ago. But this one was a lot closer than this score shows. Most of the game is pretty close. They're both low scores for a while. Cassandra had a few good starters left. She was way in between Dak Prescott, Dirty Purdy, and Kyler Murray. She went with Dak Prescott, who split the difference, just like Kyler Murray split his ACL last night, a non-contact injury, so that could have been worse. Although, I mean, Purdy, Brocktober, whatever you want to call him, he would not have put up enough points to have her win anyway. So, congratulations to Bonnie Monahan on that win. This was a close one here, as Chop It Off and I'll Make You Stunning and Brave Twilight Zone reality, folks. Hopefully it's the last time I have to say that all year, but we'll see. They narrowly lose in the battle of liberal versus conservative. Pay Calvin his money. Here their fans are waving their rainbow flags and storming the streets of Napoleon, Ohio today. He's not gay, by the way. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Just trying to throw a little salt in the wounds here of Twilight Zone reality. I just jested all this, by the way. We love everyone here in this league, but you know, they chopped off their own points by less than a point. Their own score, I should say, by less than a point. And there we are, 77.95 to 76.58. Eric Minturn, by his own admission, had basically no one left in the tank. He had enough left in the tank, apparently, to knock out Pat Provost, the original, who I've already heard they have lawyers and teams ready to do a recount to make sure this victory was not stolen. We'll see how it goes. We'll see. I'm sure Alex Jones might be involved in that somehow. But as of right now, it appears Pay Calvin his money has won and moved on to the Final Four. And then finally, another very close game. Steve Garrity, I gave him a lot of shit at the beginning of the year because his wife always seems to carry the weight. This year he made it further than she did, so congratulations. Although she got in based on merit, you got in based on luck, so I'm not sure if that helps. But you definitely made it to the Elite 8, which is better than I did. Just as good as my wife did. Unfortunately, he finished just as bad as she did. As lovable Paul Wallenwine. Smile for me, Daddy. He's gonna show you his grill as he moves on to the Final Four. He doesn't want to get fined, but he does want to continue playing into mid-December. And he will, as just here so we don't get fined. So our Final Four is set, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we have That's a Chunky, owned by Louis Diana, taking on Poe Swag, owned by Bonnie Monahan, who's reluctant to even come back this year. Both of these people missed at least the last year, if not the last 2 years, We're not blaming COVID for this one, folks. We're just blaming life in general. Point is, they're both, and I say it at the beginning. I said at the beginning of this year, what teams look out for? Perennial playoff teams. Louis Diana, we thought he was one and done, then uncovered that he actually had a second season that was not great. But nevertheless, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Meatloaf is belting it out from the grave as Louis Diana is in the Final Four again for the second time out of his 3 years in this league. And Swag, I believe she has made it to, I don't know if this trophy case is updated here, but I think it is. It is not because I never linked her because I'm an amateur. She's definitely made it multiple years to the Final Four. I don't think she's ever made it to the finals. So can the luck of Swag and whatever the hell the guy's name is, Aaron Rodgers there, get her into the finals? We'll see. We will see. That's matchup number 1. Then Eric Minturn versus Paul Wallenwine. This will be a good one too. I mean, we're going to do a roster analysis right now, in fact, so we'll see where we're at. That's a chunky. We're going to start with him. Now, again, at this point, these are like the talking heads on ESPN who spend way too much time every week dissecting every single possible moment. When was the last time Dak Prescott took a shit? I don't know. Let's do a Amazon real-time stats analysis and find out. It's so ridiculous how much crap, no pun intended, these talking heads blabber on about. But this week, I'm actually going to do one of these in-depth looks to see where we're at, because there's only 4 teams left, okay? So, that's a chance. I'm not doing every position, because no one wants to do that. But the quarterbacks, maybe the running backs, maybe the wide receivers. Here's who he's used so far. He's used Josh Allen. He's used Joe Burrow. He's used Derek Carr, Kirk Cousins, Justin Fields, Jared Goff, Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Kyler Murray, Kenny Pickett. That was probably the week he didn't need to start someone. Geno Smith, and that's it. So anyone stick out there who's not been said? It would appear most of the really good quarterbacks have been used, but not all. I'll let you figure out who's not in there. Dirty Purdy. My son requested me to go find a Brock Purdy jersey for Christmas, and I'm like, nobody has these things. Why the hell would they have them? He was Mr. Irrelevant. They don't even have them in San Francisco. That was weird. But he's available for Louis Diana to play. And then running backs. My God, my wife is vacuuming something at 7:41 a.m. Running backs, I mean, James Conner, Nick Chubb, Austin Eckler, Leonard Fournette, Najee Harris, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Aaron Jones, Alvin Kamara, Christian McCaffrey, Joe Mixon, Cordarrelle Patterson, Tony Pollard, Dameon Pierce, James Robinson, Ramondre Stevens, DeAndre Swift was used. That's surprising. He had him 3.8 points. Kenneth Walker III, Jalen Warren, and the league leading in touchdowns, Jamal Williams. I'm not looking at wide receivers. That's too boring. But you see who they've used. Now let's look at Swag here and see who she's used. Swag has used Josh Allen. Well, I should have a side-by-side comparison here. Let's see if I can do this here. Whatever. Jimmy Garoppolo, don't have to worry about using him. Jared Goff, Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Dak Prescott, Aaron Rodgers, Matthew Stafford, Tua, Russell Wilson. She was the smartest person almost of the year, starting him week 1 when he actually did a decent job. So, I mean, that's that. Running backs look a little bit stronger here, probably. Maybe not. Saquon Barkley, Cam Akers. Ugh. Starting this week. Dalvin Cook. You know, you see the list here. This is who she's used. You can go down to wide receiver. So, I mean, it honestly would probably be easier to just see who they haven't used. You know? Which, I mean, but whatever. I'm not going to do that. And then we have Pay Calvin his money. He says he's used everybody. Let's see. Pay Calvin his money. Allen, Burrow, Cousins, Herbert, Hurts, Jackson, Lawrence, Mahomes, Mariota, Murray, he's done. Prescott, Rodgers, Smith, Tua. Jared Goff's on this list, not on this list. He's, you know, yeah, he's doing well. He's leading the league in passing yards, people. Talk all the trash you want. Derek Carr also available, it looks like, you know. Ryan Tannehill's available, as he should be. You know, I'm only doing this. This is boring. I don't like this. But I'm gonna finish off with just here so I don't get fined, so there's no early advantage here. It's all public information, by the way. Josh Allen, everyone's used him. Everyone's used Joe Burrow. Everyone's used Kirk Cousins. Justin Fields. I didn't see Justin Fields on that last list. Was he on that last list? He was not! Oh my God, he still has Justin Fields to go. And Paul can't do anything about it. Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Dak Prescott, Aaron Rodgers, Geno Smith, Tua, Carson Wentz, who, by the way, scored 19.89 points for him. This is one of the reasons why he's probably in the Final Four, folks. Effective use. Tua scored 20 points when he used them. Good job, Paul Wallenwine. Geno Smith, 14.28. Gives you a sneak peek of that. I'm not doing a full breakdown because I'm bored with it already, like literally yawning. I'm sure you are too, but just shows you that Justin Fields is still in the field for at least one of these teams. I think he's playing. Is he playing the Lions this week too? Ooh boy, we'll see. I mean, the Lions are good though. I mean, that's weird to say. I can't even get used to it. So there you have it. That's your breakdown for who's left. These four teams, all of whom have received their fourth place payout, I should say, except for Eric because he hasn't responded to my text yet. Okay, suck bracket. Coming up. Oh, I just need to sleep for an entire day one day. I never sleep. All right, so now we are in the Sweet 16 of the Suck Bracket. We are 2 weeks behind here. We got some good teams left, some good owners. The Black Hole. I believe maybe the lone Bradley member left in this league this year. Hitting Rugs. Dublin Drunk sat there and made his... Oh, no, that's definitely not true. Mason Bradley right here. Jeez Louise. I forget who that is. Father versus son here in the Suck Bracket with Sweet 16 as the Dublin Drunks who were at my Christmas party and said, I'm submitting my lineup right now. Their lighting was low. Maybe he couldn't see his phone properly because he only put up 37.98 points, but we'll see. So father versus son is the Black Hole. Takes on his son, Hitting Rugs. Down here we got True Blue Wrecking Crew, Roger Brewer, taking on Eric Minturn, who has 2 teams left here, folks. Chark Attack. That's to get into the Elite 8 there. Most Known Unknown, still just chugging along here. Justin Redding taking on Nab Tab Knights, who submitted probably one player here and got 20.9 points last week. Then we go down here. That follow-up for the Elite 8 matchup would be Mullen Incorporated, which, of course, is Paul Ward with his 5-6 record. This is a really close game. Alshon Jeffrey didn't kill himself, sent Greg Munger home. He took over a team, had a good run, won like 3 straight games with them. He'll be in the league for sure next year, so that's good. But Alshon Jeffrey didn't kill himself into this Sweet 16. And then we got Suck It, old Bracy Trudell, who took over a team in the middle of the year, taking on Squadrels, my father, who, I mean, he's been doing a lot of recovery. He's just been sitting there in his chair. He must have been studying up because he's won 2 straight. So good job for you. And then we got the lovable Scott Muckovitz taking on Rocky Keeling, whose name was not said a lot during the regular season, but he is winning some games here in the postseason. I don't do cocaine. I just like the smell of it. That is John Zemer. He did change his team name just in time to lose, I'm afraid. My God, I'm selling something down there on Robinhood. It's blowing up. And then we got former champion Alan Harvey's Your Mother Likes My Defense, who sent Amber Cole packing this week. The former #1 team in the nation after 1 week because she used everybody. Then Rob Jazerski, we missed you this weekend, coming up over another Provost defeat this week. Oh my God, what a terrible week for the Provost family. Almost as bad as when Biden got elected. Oh my God. Put him on. We got to get those people who are in charge of Epstein over there at his house to make sure nothing happens after 3 losses. And I think and the Brittany Griner trade. Are you kidding me? Oh my God, what a disaster. The best meme I saw all week was, this is the first WNBA trade that's actually made headlines. That's pretty funny. Nevertheless, the Nuts, not to be outdone by his wife, Bracy Trudell's, or not to be outdone by her husband, is Jamie Phelps taking as into the 8. And then, of course, Cloacal Kiss, too. I said Rob Bradley may be the only Bradley left. This is how much I pay attention to the suck bracket, folks. I should pay better attention. Maddie Bradley, defending champ, looking to be the first person ever to win 2 straight brackets that were not the same. She's got a chance to make history, folks. That's your suck bracket for week 15 coming up. A lot of good games there. Maddie Bradley versus Jamie, Rob versus Alan. That's got some play there. But, of course, the biggest game, in my opinion, is father versus son. No collusion here, I'm sure, folks. So there's that. Now we're going to go to the Super Squares, which I did no play on because, I mean, this week is going to be the same way. It's Christmas. Well, this weekend I'm just not going to post anything because I've got a Christmas party and then Jolly Palooza. Come down to the Commonwealth Commerce Center on Sunday if you want. Last second Christmas gifts. Anyway, this week's category is most rushing yards. And Josh Endicott. We finally have a new winner here. Eagles ran for 253 as they ran all over the Giants. And then the Ravens ran all over the Steelers, apparently. I think they still lost, though. I don't remember. But that's that. Finally, I want to mention the playoff challenge, because I mention this every time. If you are out of the playoffs of the suck bracket or the muscle bracket, you are done playing regular season muscle. But don't forget that the playoff challenge will start as soon as the season is over. The muscle playoffs, or the muscle playoff challenge, coincides with the NFL playoffs. All rosters are reset. Everybody starts anew, tries to score the most points possible. Yada, yada, yada. So be looking for that. And I got to get in the shower, head to work. Y'all have a good day. We'll see you soon.